Hello and welcome to Wisdom Wednesdays, where we look at the Proverbs and we try to grow in wisdom. Today I want to read you Proverbs chapter 6, verses 20 through 25. And this is what they say. My son, obey your father's commands and don't neglect your mother's instructions. Keep their words always in your heart. Tie them around your neck. When you walk, their counsel will lead you. When you sleep, they will protect you. When you wake up, they will advise you. For their command is a lamp and their instruction a light. Their corrective discipline is the way to life. These pictures paint a pretty vivid and poetic picture, don't they? Most of us, though, have doubted the truth of these verses at some point or another in our lives, haven't we? Generally, sometimes, around junior high or high school. Some people it's not till college. But at some point, we just decide our parents just don't really know. We've thought our parents were clueless, that they're ignorant, that they're just flat wrong on so many points. And if you're a parent or you have spent time around parents, you've probably witnessed this happening. It's just one of the natural parts of kids learning to be independent from their parents. And it's just a level of dismissing what the parent says. So the great thing is that time has a way of correcting this little bump in the relationship. You might think your parents are just total idiots when you're 14. And then at 24, you're starting to realize that most of the things they told you are dead on accurate. If you have a kid at home who thinks you're too stupid to live, be comforted in this. In 10 years, they'll likely be calling you up for answers to all kinds of questions and solutions to all sorts of problems. So you go from being a know-nothing to a veritable fountain of wisdom. It's the way life goes. I speak from experience. I think it's also important to note that verse 23 talks about our parents' corrective discipline and the importance of it. Pretty much nobody likes to be disciplined, right? As a child, especially. But this verse calls corrective discipline the way to life. We learn to be decent human beings who play well with others. By the corrective discipline, our parents love us enough to give us. They're wise. They know that we need that discipline. Perhaps you have spent sufficient time around a kid or just some other person who has not experienced corrective discipline, loving corrective discipline, and maybe you know how badly that can come out. We need corrective discipline. Of course, there are some people who got a really bad deal when it comes to parents. And if you're one of those, I am praying for you today that you will be healed of your wounds, that any lies that you believe because of that situation will just be uncovered quickly and you'll be freed from them. If you got that bad deal, I hope there was someone in your life who was kind of a parental type figure who filled that function of offering good instruction and advice. Not everything every parent says to every child is life-giving, and may you just be free from the hurtful or destructive words that have been spoken over you, if that's the case. So for today, we're just going to work on memorizing verses, this is chapter 6, verses 20 and 23, because they really get to the heart of the matter. So we're going to read through 3 times to start to get these verses into our heads before we move on with our day. Are you ready? My son, obey your father's commands and don't neglect your mother's instructions. For their command is a lamp and their instruction a light. Their corrective discipline is the way to life. My son, obey your father's commands and don't neglect your mother's instruction. For their command is a lamp and their instruction a light. Their corrective discipline is the way to life. And one more time. My son, obey your father's commands and don't neglect your mother's instruction. For their command is a lamp, and their instruction a light. Their corrective discipline is the way to life. That's all for today's Wisdom Wednesdays. Maybe take some time this week to thank your parents or other parental type figures for all the good ways that their instruction and discipline has helped you in life. And parents, be encouraged. Even if your kid thinks you're just a knucklehead, what you're doing now will pay off in the long run. See you next time.